If the leader is not going the way that he's trying to show the people or that he knows he needs to go, then nobody's going to follow him.
The truth is that experience goes to emotion. And people buy through emotion.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is the 7X Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Gerold and today we're going to be exploring 7 principles of business growth that you can apply in your business to ensure that your business is growing.
Yeah.
Now, we've actually applied this strategy in our own business over the last 2 years, and we've been able to grow our business significantly using this strategy. So we want to share this with the world.
To which, how many figures? 7 or 6?
1,000
figures.
7 and 10 figures, okay? From 0 to 6 figures in a year. So
that's great.
And we want to share with people so that they can know how to apply this. And this really doesn't matter how big your business is, whether you have a really small business, which is 0 or 10 or whatever your turnover is, 10 Rand per year, $1 a year. You can start there. Because these principles, you don't need money to start with them.
No.
You don't need to be extremely knowledgeable. You just need to know these 7 things and then learn how to apply them. So today we're going to tell you what to do to grow your business. If you want to grow your business, then stay tuned. Keep listening to this podcast. If you don't want to grow your business, then, just keep scrolling. Just keep scrolling. We'll talk to you later again when you decided you want to grow your business.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get right into it. I know we have 1 hour to talk about this, but as we know, normally 1 hour ends up not being long enough for us because we talk a lot, especially me. I wanted to say I spared you from that one. All right, so the first principle that we're going to be talking about, and we'll go through these in very briefly, and then what we're going to do is for the next 7 weeks or the next 7 podcast episodes after this one, we are going then to be expanding and going deeper into each principle. And then next year, we are going to, starting in January, we're going to invite some experts on each one of these topics. And they are going to come and share their viewpoint on these topics. And so that you can have even more to learn about and more insight and more reason to understand why these principles are really, really important.
Yeah.
Because these are not just things that we woke up one morning and we're like, hey, let's write down 7 things.
No.
Not at all. We did a lot of research into these things. And these 7 things are actually the main reasons why companies succeed. And the lack of these things are the main reasons why companies don't succeed. And so today we're going to be briefly going over these 7 things. So I want to start off with number 1, and then Chris, you can talk a little bit about that as well. The first pillar of business success or business growth, the first X of this, I wanted to do 7X.
So of the 7X.
The first X that we find is leadership. Leadership. That you know that leadership is the number 1 reason why companies fail.
Yes.
That you know, it's the audience that you know that. So statistically, it's shown that when a company's leadership is strong, even when they go through difficult times, they usually still come out. And they actually, like we said in our other podcasts, they actually grow through those difficult times. But when a company's leadership is not strong, even in good times, they are set up for failure. So leadership is really, really important. And I think that we have seen how that important leadership is when you run a business. It's talking about self-leadership. It's talking about leading teams. It's talking about leading companies. It's talking about leading clients. all those different things. So Christian, maybe if you have some input, why do you think leadership is so important? Why do you think companies rise and fall on leadership of everything else? I mean, we're talking about there's capital, there's money, there's position. You know, they say position, position, position. There's buildings, there are staff members, all those things. Why leadership the first one?
Well, a business is an organization.
Mm-hmm.
An organization which wants someone that can give a direction, and that person that can give a direction, it's a leader. So the vision of the company and the direction that the company have to take, it's a leader who communicate that direction, even the tone of the company. So if the leadership is not good, or a leader doesn't have, is not a visionary, or someone who has a clear vision of the company, you are not going to go nowhere. Like there won't be any direction or any like clear vision, because it's a vision that drives our organization. For example, we had a vision of this company, Oxano 7. And we had a clear vision of where we have to go. And then I'm not saying that at the beginning it's going to you as a leader or a leader is going to have all the tools necessary. But the first thing that make most a company through their leaders to fail is the vision. Because that's where you're going to set everything and try to work to go through that. Example of big leaders, as we know, like Steve Jobs. He had the clear vision of where he wanted Apple to go. And then he worked through that, and then he pushed, even through difficulty, he still stand and then give the direction. And then I think just by the definition of a business, you know, it's an organization who have a goal, and then that goal, it's people who have to drive it. But the first person who give a direction, who tells everyone where to go, it's a leader. If the leader fail, or the organization fail. So leaders, you must just be strong. If they tell you that if the company or the country or any organization where you are leading is not well, that's your fault, just accept it because it's you. So, yeah, that's where to start, if not to, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I like that, what you said about taking ownership of where you are at. And even for myself in a leadership position that I have, there was a time where I had to acknowledge that, to say, look, things are not well, and if things are going to change, then it means I have to change. And that actually is what put me on a path of growth, because I realized, I'm not as great as I think I am. I'm not as the best leader I can possibly be. And it's really important for us to, as leaders, to be on a growth path. If you're a leader that's growing, you will inspire other people to grow. But if you are complacent, then your staff, your clients, your business is just going to stagnate. And it's so important to, like you're saying, to have that vision. A leader, I like this idea of leadership. I think it's John Maxwell that said this. He might have quoted someone else. I don't know. He does a lot of quotes of other people as well. Somebody once said, these things of so-and-so said this, 1,000 years ago, and so-and-so said this 10 years ago. It's like, who even knows, maybe somebody got a quote and it's not even theirs. But anyway, but the definition of a leader is that a leader is a person that knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. Knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. And I think for a company to be successful, if a leader doesn't know where the company needs to be, what needs to happen, what is the path that we're on, what is the trajectory don't make that a short, of where we need to go, then the people can't follow. And then also if the leader is not going the way that he's trying to show the people or that he knows he needs to go, then nobody's going to follow him. So the leader has to set the example. And if most companies really, when there's problems with, I don't know if you know, there's an interesting story about, I think it's Jeff Roffey, if I'm correct. I might be misquoting his name now, the owner of Bidvest Group. You know the Bidvest Group is like all these different companies that proudly Bidvest. And what they would do when the story is that when he or his company or the group buys over a smaller company, they normally buy over companies with great potential but are not doing well, so that they can buy low and then grow those companies, and then they keep most of them, which is great. But what they normally do is that when they buy the company, the first thing that they do is they get rid of the leadership. Because if that company is not doing well, they already know the problem is with the leadership.
Even Warren Buffett, they do the same. I forgot the name that they call it. It's an investment strategy.
Yeah.
So what you do, you buy a company or you buy like stock, so that now after buying it, now you try to get into the board. So that you can influence the decision inside that, so that the stock can go up. And what they do, like if the leadership is bad, they will fight to take out that leadership so that they can be in the board and then take decisions that are going to drive the company to grow. And then I liked one thing that you said, that just giving your own example of acknowledging where there was a problem. And then most leaders, they suck there. Or like not that ego and just that things, okay, the problem is just other people. That's why I was saying that I said one thing of like, if something's wrong with your organization, it's you. It's not other people. It's not all other people there who are working under you, because they're working under your direction, under your vision. If you are weak, they're going to be weak. If you are strong, they're going to be strong.
Yeah.
And you just acknowledging that and taking that ownership and okay, the problem here, it might be me, and then where can I change? Or if the problem is the people that you are leading, how can I motivate those people? Because
change,
it's still you who have to play that role, because you are a leader.
Yep.
So you have to play the role. Okay, how can I motivate these people? Or how can I replace these people? How can I change? That's why a leader need the strategic vision. You have to, the vision.
You're going into the other part.
No jumping. No, it's like that vision is going to be, it's not something that is static, but at least you have to know the end goal, where you want to go. If you want to go to the 7X, you want to go to a 7-figure, you are the one who's going to set the game.
Yeah.
How things are going
you
to
have
be.
To, they call it like you have to cast the vision.
Yeah.
You have to cast the vision so people can know what they are following. So that's important. Leadership influences everything from the company's culture to the company's performance. It really, really, I think this is like the foundation of every company is the leadership. Everything else comes after that. And if the foundation is weak, even if the company grows eventually, it gives into itself because the leadership is unable to sustain that growth. And then the weight of the company it's too much. And then like a house, that's built on a weak foundation.
Even a body, our brain, our head, it's the one that's lead everything.
Yeah.
The brain command like our arms to move, communication, all
everything.
These things. It's the head. If they cut your head, all the other body parts won't function. So the problem, if something goes wrong with the arms or the leg or something, you cannot say that it's just the leg. Even if it's the leg, the head have to know that something is going on with the leg,
and then it's compensate for that. Yeah. So we're still going to get into all these topics at a later stage in more depth, but I'm already liking where this is going. All right, so that was the first point: is leadership. Leadership is essential and it's foundational.
That's the first pillar.
Yeah,
and
that's
the most
first
important
pillar. Yes, and definitely the center pillar of everything else revolves around this. Okay, next after leadership, we have operations. Now, leadership connects you to the people. Leadership is about relationships. It is about leading people. So leadership connects you as the business owner to the people. Operations is what connects you to the company. So operation is the flow of how things work in the company. It is the policies, the procedures, the how we do things, how it is in embedding the culture of how this company functions. So operations connects us to we can say the heart of the company. How does this thing beat? It is the heartbeat of the company, how things are flowing inside of the company. And most of the time, your clients will not see, they don't know about your operations. And when your operations are going is very fine-tuned, the client will have a good experience, but probably won't notice anything. But when your operations are not very well fine-tuned or well run, the client will always end up complaining and leaving because of frustration. So operations is really the inside workings of how things connect. Different departments connecting to one another, different areas connecting to one another, how people have to work together on a practical level.
Even just processes of how you have your product, and how you offer your service, how like you get the client out, who's going to get that client, and how it's going to be, who's going to do that. And then if, for example, you are a marketing company, who's going to be running the campaign for clients, how all this, I think, fall under the operation, because that's the everyday doing, like the everyday things. When we come to the office, this is what we do at the beginning, and things that we didn't finish tomorrow, it has to continue. We have to deliver to this one, who have to do it, and then how have to be done, and it's very important. And if there's something wrong with the operation, even the deliverance of the service is going to be bad,
and the client is going to feel it. That's the strange thing about operations. It's almost like we always talk about events because we do a lot of events, but it's like the catering at an event. If the catering is very well, people won't say anything. But if there's something wrong with the food, people will definitely, and that's the thing they will remember. They'll remember that the food was terrible. Hey, do you remember that event we went to? Yeah, the food was terrible. That's all they will remember. And that's like operations. Under operations, you have your client experience, your after-sales services, your first point of contact, your first experience, your first impressions. It's the, like your marketing works together with branding. And that is to bring clients into your business. And once they land in your front door, operations takes over, because now this will mean what is the rest of the client's experience going forward from here. And so you can have this amazing brand. You can have this. I had a experience just last week, with a big company in South Africa that they're supposed to be this incredible company, top of their, they're always like, woo, they're the best and everything. My experience, even though they have great products, they are very competitive, everything is great, but the operations fell apart. And from beginning to the end, my experience was just terrible. And it got so bad to the point where I literally felt like it's not worth trying to deal with them, let me just go to someone else because it's just too much frustration. And that is the thing about operations, is that your operations really, it is what the client will perceive and how the client will experience your company. And that will leave a lasting impact on them, whether they'll come back because they had a great experience or whether they're not coming back because they were frustrated, you didn't deliver on time, you're difficult to work with, you overcharged for no reason, you sent them the wrong stuff, you pitch for the event, things like that. So
that's why we can say as well, just to go in the same direction, what we're saying, like operation can increase or reduce the cost of your budget. Like if you know how your process, and if you can cut and if you can make it like run very nicely, you can cut costs in your money that you spend, or as well your operation can affect your profitability.
Definitely.
So it's something that is very important, and then big companies knows that. For example, Toyota, what they did, they tried to work on the operation, the processes of their production, so that they can produce more and increase their profitability. You see, so it's the center, and then how the business work. Because we can go get client, we can go, or we can have a vision where to go, but how the processes, or how we are going to deliver the service, how we are going to take care of customers, because a business is there for customers. A business is there to sell something. So you putting that product together, and in the processing of you delivering that product or shipping it or selling it somewhere, that's operation. And if something goes wrong there, your profitability is going to be affected, and then your cost is going to go high. And then that cost going high is going to affect again your profitability. And why are you...
And that also affects your reputation.
Yes.
And reputation is one of the bigger your company is, the heavier reputation becomes. So especially with social media these days. So we see these posts all the time. Yeah, I've been waiting at this bank for 10 hours. Nobody's helping me. Like that.
The other day, I saw you fighting with. I'm sorry to say that, but that's a very big company.
Yeah.
This is one thing that I've noticed with big companies. More companies start to get big, more they become negligent. They start to negligent, especially their customer service become like very bad.
Yeah, but it goes back to management. It's a management problem because people are not doing their work. But your operations needs to be enforced by the leadership. So yeah,
that's why
operations.
That's why it's 7x.
Yeah.
So 7x, if you can get like, let's say you can aim for 70% of each pillars. You put them together, because we are saying 70% because we know that you as an entrepreneur, you grow in the journey, walking in the journey.
Yeah.
Some things you won't get them at the beginning, but you have already to have that growth mindset. Okay, I'm here to learn. If I find something, you acknowledge it, you change, you go, and then we go. And then, as I was saying about those big companies and big things, it's like, okay, they get comfortable.
Yeah.
Now it's all about just money, no shareholders and things.
They become arrogant.
Yes.
Like, oh, we are the best, and then some startup company comes and wipes them out. And that's what happened to a lot of companies, because they had a monopoly or they had the major market share. They became arrogant and complacent And they're like, oh, we don't care if we lose clients because we've got so many. And that's exactly where you have it wrong, because eventually it might take a little bit longer time, the attrition, but eventually you are going to go down. You can't, because your reputation, once it gets to the point where people just don't care about you anymore, as soon as they find somebody that can at least give them the service, even if it's not the same level or quality as yours, or the product is not as great, they will go there, because the frustration of working with you is just too much.
People, entrepreneurs don't realize this, that only what they call it, customer service. Only your customer service can influence people to like you.
Mm-hmm.
I take my phone, I call you, you assist me, and without struggling, that's only thing that can change. I've seen it, people like that. Okay, this is amazing. I got help. I asked for them for help, and they helped me, and they assisted me. You see, just all those things. And then that's part of the operation. You following up with your customer. When they have trouble, when they have problems, you are there for them. It's part of it. And then the other thing is even the packaging for people who have like product. The way you package the product and to ship it to the people. That's one thing. I've seen someone getting excited just because the way the laptop was present, was like put in the box, just the way it looks. Those are things, because people are like simple psychological trick can affect people to stay with you and become loyal. That way, in your operation, you can create loyal customers, because just okay, this company, whenever, they're not big. They're not they're not like that big one, but if I want help, they help me.
Can they deliver?
They can deliver. And then if whatever I'm there, they're there for me. So that's very important. And us as a company, that's one thing that we worked on that. It's not easy, but we grow in that, and then we implement that. Our customers, they're always happy because we always try to deliver more than that. They pay us for that, and that's part of the operation.
Yeah, definitely. So operations connect you to the company, the internal workings of the company. And then we go to number 3, which is the part that connects you to your client. And this is your sales and marketing. Within this pillar, sales and marketing, is also where partially you find branding. But branding is also in another pillar that we're going to talk about a little bit later. And I know that most people will not expect it to be under that pillar, but we'll talk about that when we get there. So don't go anywhere, keep listening. But let's talk about sales and marketing. We say always that sales and marketing is the bloodline of the business, right? This is the thing that feeds your business with fresh life. This is your cash flow. This is, without sales and marketing, you can have an incredible structure. You can have amazing foundation, the leadership. You can have a perfectly oiled machine, the business is, everything works like this, clockwork. But there's no clients coming in through the door. So it's pointless. So we need sales and marketing. Now, marketing takes your brand and it puts it in front of clients. Then sales comes in and tries to match your service with a specific client need to show that this is a good match. It's like sales is like a dating app for your business. It is finding matches where your business and the client is compatible and where you can help them do that work. Marketing is putting yourself out there, your profile, how they know what you do. Hey, we do give you this service. Is this a good one? And sales is really about helping the client make a decision. That's what it is. Selling is helping the client make a decision.
Yeah, that's... I always say that your marketing and sales are. I always say I always say that marketing and sales is the why you are doing the business. Because you are doing a business to sell something.
Yeah.
And then for you to sell something, first you have to be in front of someone who doesn't know you. That's your marketing. Marketing is going to put you in front of that person. So you have to attract that person with your marketing. And the sales now is to push that person to put their hand in the pocket so that they can buy your product.
Yeah.
But not only to buy your product, but to return, they can come back again.
Yeah.
So both together are the why you are doing the business, because you can have your package, you have your leadership, you have everything that you need.
Amazing product
and things. Like, most companies, they die with great product just because they can't sell it. And then I'm always sad when I see people struggling to spend in marketing.
Yeah.
Like companies, if there's a place where they put money, less money, or not at all, it's marketing. Why are you doing a business?
Yeah.
Or maybe you have just an idea, I have my connection there, you have your tribe where to stay. But if you want to 7x your company, if you want to get your company to 7 figures, you have to invest more in your marketing and sales people, and just try to work. And then that comes with as well with the culture of the company, because that's what's going to attract people so that they can they can stay and then become like return customers, because they know that they're getting great things. But you have to say to them first. They have to know. You have to tell them who you are. That's where you tell people, I'm this, I'm doing this, and then this is how I can help you. And then if you buy my product, you won't be disappointed. So please buy this one, and then people, they will trust you and they buy. And that's way to focus a lot of attention as well, because that's the why you are doing the business.
And that also, if your sales is good, if your leadership is good and your operations are very good, and then you push your marketing and you start to sell more, then every sale will potentially generate 3, 4, 5 more sales because of marketing with word of mouth. I mean, a part of our company's strategy is marketing through our clients. Yeah. Because they're the most powerful salesperson that you can ever have is your client.
It's your client, yeah.
Not the people sitting in your office.
No.
Because when I tell you as a client of Oxano and I come to you and I say, yo, Chris, you know what? I heard that you need some help with your business. Man, these guys, you won't believe it. They helped me to grow my business to 7 figures, in the last 2 years. Like, man, you need to talk to them. Here's the number. Here's, Christian's number. Give him a call. They're amazing people. I know they're going to help you. Like, what else do you need? No amount of branding or advertising or sales pitching to people can ever replace just that one sentence. So your greatest salesperson is your client. And if you give them a good experience, they'll talk about you.
That's why when we buy online, we check for reviews.
Yes, exactly.
Those people who write reviews are customers who are satisfied. So your sell team and your marketing team, it's way to put more effort in, so that, and then you can make sure that as well those customers, they can spread, because it's just it's a shame, and it's okay. This one is satisfied. He will go and talk to 2 other people, and then those other people, when they will come, they will get good service, and then 2 of them, it's already 2 other people, and then that's where you see that they call, no, this one called me and told me that you can help me. Oh yeah, we can help you. They come there, they have friends as well who are not friends with this one. They go, they tell other people as well, and then they come to you. So that's the marketing.
Think about it, like some of the shops where you shop. Why did you start shopping there? Because somebody told you, oh no, I found this there, or their clothing is nice, or the food there is that restaurant, the coffee is really good. It's like you go and explore, you try new things because somebody you trust told you that this is good. And that's really, really important. I like what you said about investing in your marketing, investing in your salespeople, and then I would add investing in your client's experience, because that's marketing.
Yeah.
Your client experience is you marketing your business. Most companies sell products, but as Oxano, we don't sell products or services. We sell an experience.
Yeah.
We give you an experience because we are here to guide businesses, to help people to grow their businesses, to achieve what they want to achieve with their business, the dream that they have, and have the freedom to do the things that they are called to do. So sales, it's like...
That's marketing, I said, that's why you sell your vision.
Mm-hmm.
You can have
tell your story.
Yeah. That's why you sell the vision. That's why you sell a dream.
Mm.
And then great leaders or great people that we know in the world since the beginning are people who were able to sell their vision through marketing.
Mm.
I can tell one, Jesus.
Mm.
He went and looked for only 12 people.
Yeah.
He sold the dream. He sold the vision to them. And those 12, till now, millions and billions of people now are still following him.
Yep.
Because of the beginning. And then that's most of the time, it's just, okay, I got it. No, I received Jesus Christ. Oh, it's amazing.
My life
changed. And then I go, I tell another person.
Yeah.
And then that's person,
marketing.
No, Jesus loves me. And then he can love you as well.
Yeah.
And then that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. I think if we can see it in that way, we'll know that we have to sell our experience, because the truth is that experience goes to emotion.
Mm.
And people buy through emotion.
Yes.
So if you can get to if you can get to the trigger, that trigger people to buy, you get retainers.
Mm. We're going too deep here. We need to. So if you find any of these so far very interesting and you want to hear more, don't worry. We're going to be talking more about these in the upcoming podcasts, one by one by one. All right, let's go to number 4, which is the one that I said we are going to put branding under. And I'm sure most people don't realize this, because most people really don't understand branding. Like I would wager that 90% of businesses and people don't understand branding. And branding is not a pillar on its own. And I know most people will think, your branding is... No, it's not. Your branding is not a pillar on its own. Because branding falls under something that we call strategy. And if you know, even... as a company, we do strategic brand development, which talks about the planning around your branding and how you set up your business branding to be able to speak to your ideal clients so that you can attract the right people, so that your marketing message lands on ears that want to hear it, so that your people who sell can sell to people who need it. But if your strategy is wrong, your branding is going to be wrong, your marketing is going to be wrong, you're going to try to sell to people who don't need it, don't want it, get out of my way, and it's going to be frustrating. And you're going to do 1,000 times the work to get one sale. Whereas if your strategy is correct, and we know there is business strategists, there are marketing strategies, there are branding strategies, there are sales strategy, there's leadership strategies. The strategy, it touches everything, because It is the vision, it is the plan, it is the operation, it is the process of how we're going to achieve something, how we're going to reach a certain goal, how we're going to move forward. What is it? Where are we aiming at? Like your strategy is how you take aim, and then if you don't have a strategy, you're just praying, they call pray and spray. You're just shooting all over the place and hoping you hit something. And most people, they brand, they market, they sell in that way. It's just like, oh, let's just go all over the place. Let's just put it everywhere and hope we hit something. But there's no strategy behind it. And then what goes up? Your expenses goes up. Your frustration goes up. Your losses go up. And then your company closes down before it starts.
The army who win a war or even a battle is an army that have a strategy. Not only a strategy, but a great strategy.
Yeah.
That's why in the army they have what they call great strategy. That's how you play in the ground. So business is not different with a war.
Yeah, if you've been in business, it's a war.
So just ask yourself,
Yeah.
how many business are in the same niche that you or are trying to sell to the same people that you are trying to sell to?
Yeah.
If you realize how many are there who are trying to get to the same people, you will put your strategy. And then a strategy here, it's not something that is static.
Yeah.
Strategy, you play it according to the ground where you are and then to the market where you are. And then sometimes you to get to where you want or to your customer, to convince your customer, you have to change different strategies until you get it. And then that's all the big companies that did. And then like one of the company that I can name here, it's Amazon. Amazon, they structured their strategy based on the customer service, like customer centric.
Yeah.
So they put the customer in center because they're in e-commerce. They're not in direct connection with their customer. So the way they ship, the way they connect, they communicate with their customer, that's a strategy that you have to put in place so that you can win in the market, because there's other giants who are trying to do the same thing that Amazon. So for you to win any game of the business, for you to be successful, strategy have to be in center of whatever you are doing, in a leadership, in your marketing, in your branding, because branding, we're putting it there because that's where you'll know who is your customer. Your internal branding, that's how you know who your customer. How can I communicate to this customer? You cannot communicate to a person who is a leader in an organization and then someone in the street. They don't understand the same language. They don't talk the same language. So your strategy, you have to fit it now so that if you are targeting both people, so that you can communicate differently to those different people and then get to the goal. And then that's a strategy that you can put in place. Right now, we are not trying to go deep. We are just presenting the 7X and trying to explain why we call this podcast 7X Growth. And then to show the pillars where we put all our things. And then in other podcasts coming, we'll now go deeper with that. But now I can just say that, strategy is very important because it's the thing that will make you win the war.
Yeah,
you can lose battles.
Yep.
But your strategy will make you win the war. And then you losing some battles can be a strategy as well, so that you can win a war.
Yeah.
Because all these things come together, the different battles. And then with strategy, we can say there is a short-term strategy. And there can be a middle-term strategy and a long-term strategy. Mm-hmm. But very good strategists and very good leaders or companies, they focus on the long-term strategy because that the war. And then the others, they're just okay, how can we get here to this? And then you go. So, but the end goal is your vision, where you want to get. And for you to get to that goal, you have to have a very good strategy in all the pillars as well. Because strategy can be applied in each pillars, all the 7 pillars as well, like other pillars.
Yeah, because business is... it's a long game, it's not a short game. And it's a lot like playing chess. Like you have to think in advance. You have to think about what are your... I don't like to call other businesses competitors, but nevertheless, your competitors, let's just suffer it so for now.
Yeah.
What are your competitors doing? What is the market doing? What is the world doing? What is happening in the economy? Like all those things is things that you have to take into consideration. And when you don't have a strategy, then you're not thinking. You're just trying to do things. And that's why I find that most people, they have good ideas, but there's no strategy behind them. And then those good ideas don't make successful businesses. We know that. So it's really important that strategy is something that is constantly evolving. You're constantly changing it. A great book, this might sound funny, but a great book to read about business, or that you can apply to business strategy, is the book of The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Mm-hmm. And it's literally just a book about war, you know, but there's so much to learn about it, and things that you can apply in your life, things that you can even apply in business. And like you said, like business is a lot like war, and you need to think ahead of yourself, and you need to think about the future as well. All right, we need to continue on to the next point. So that was point number 4.
Maybe I can just add this one quickly. 70% of organization with documented strategy, they achieve their goals. So your strategy must not just be something that you have in your head. I'm going to play. Those things. Okay, let's do it just like this, and then you are done. No, you must put it in the table. You must write it down. You must document it.
Not just in your business plan. There has to be ongoing. It's also like I like that what you said, but and it's also like understanding that strategy takes practice to perfect.
Yeah.
It's like we like South Africa won the World Rugby, and it takes time to perfect a strategy, like a gameplay. You try things, it doesn't work, you try other things. So a strategy is not a static thing. It's something that evolves, it changes with the vision, it adjusts, it pivots, it moves around as you see fit. Okay, we did this, but we didn't get the result we needed. Let's change the strategy now until you find something that works. And that's where you scale. That's where you go 7x.
That's because that's why we're saying that business, it's a journey. So in the journey, you have to walk and then try different things. And sometimes you have to lose some battles, small battles, to win the end game, which is the war. And just for you to have something to, I would say, like about us, we had our strategy, we wrote it down, but more we are working, because we had it down, write it down, we could change it, we can modify it, we can move it around, we can add more things, we can remove things, because we have it there.
Yes, that's
so
true.
You have to write it down, you have to have it, and as a leader or like an entrepreneur, you must always go back to your strategy and then try to see if it's working or it's not working, than just walking without checking what am I doing. You don't know. So strategy is very important.
Yeah. All right. So let's quickly recap and then we'll go into the last three. We have like 10 minutes for the last three, so we have to keep moving. So the first one we said is leadership. Then number 2 is operations. Number 3 is sales and marketing. Number 4, strategy. And that leads us to the fifth one, which is finances. Now, finances is, I think most people, when it comes to finances and business, they only are concerned with how much am I going to make, but there's so much more to business other than how much you're going to make or the bottom line. And I truly believe that every person that goes into business, if you're an entrepreneur, especially if you are a business owner, you need, even if you're not doing the business finances, you need to have at least the basic understanding of business finances. You need to understand taxes. You need to understand financial statements. You need to understand cash flow. You need to understand operational costs, cost of producing products, cost to client, cost per client, like those type of things. Where, because in finances there is a very strategic way of thinking as well in your finances, and sometimes, especially as small businesses, people can, neglect their finances because I'm a small business. I get money, I use money, I try to get more money. That's the cash flow. But you're going to get stuck there because, again, falling back on strategy, finances is a strategic element and you need to manage your finances very carefully. If you eat your money, there's going to be no money to spend to grow your business. If you don't put money aside for difficult seasons, first of all, I think that's arrogant because you think you're always going to do well. You're not always going to do well. No business always does well. No one. So you need to put money aside and have, a backup for those type of things. So there's so much to go into finances, and I think one of the podcasts we are going to, like we said, we're going to get a financial business expert in that can come and talk a lot about what are the main things that you need to know as a business owner when it comes to finances. What are some of the tricks we can say, or tips when it comes to finances, to taxes, to managing your finances as a business and also as a person? Because if you're not managing your personal finances, you're not going to manage your business finances, and your personal finances will probably eat your business finances. And I've seen that when, dealing with all the companies throughout the years, how there are companies that do well and then they just disappear. And you're like, how did this happen? You realize, finding out more details, you realize that the owners or the employees, they just chowed the money because they didn't look at the finances. They thought, oh, we have so much money, or clients applying for credit, they want to borrow money, and then the bank wants to see your financial statements and it's a mess. And you're like, oh, but why won't you borrow? Because you can't manage your finances. Why would I give you money if you don't know how to, if clearly you don't manage your money? You spend on things you shouldn't be spending on. You buy new cars every month in the company name. Like, you keep spending money. There's no cash flow. You're not keeping anything. So why would I give you more? Because you're not going to pay me back. So financial management is very important. And I know it's one of those things that most of the time we put it on the back burner. We'll deal with it later. Or when we are bigger, when we have real money. But when you get there, it's too late, because then you've already built a culture around the way you use your money, around the way you spend your money. And I know we talk about money every week, almost every day, because it's important. How are we spending our money? What are we planning to spend the money on? What do we need to do? What is our budget for this month? How many clients do we need to meet this budget? What are we going to do if we don't? It's so important to talk about it.
I think most business, when it comes to finances, they're just stuck with budgeting and taxes and things. I think finances, to get it's very difficult if you're not an expert. And I will advise to entrepreneurs to work with experts.
Yeah.
to spend money there to someone who can oversee your finances and help you on that side.
And at least keep your books.
Yeah.
We don't do our own books because it's just
because
too much.
It's very good to talk. No, we have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But once you get that big check in your hand and you are not disciplined with that, we end up spending it, and until you realize that there's nothing.
Oops, I ate the money that I'm supposed to buy new stock with. Going backwards.
Like, let's say, not even just you eating it, but even in the business, you can spend the money to things that are necessary.
Yeah.
Because you think you have money, and then you can buy this. Let's buy this, let's buy this, or let's do this. You can end up buying things that you're not using. You can end up putting the money, investing in things that are not going to bring anything to the business right now, or even in the 6 months. So working with a professional or being disciplined
and accountable.
Yes, to your finances and how you spend it and where you spend it. It's very important because money is something that you don't trust it until it's in your pocket.
Yeah.
So work with a professional and just grow around that. You'll make some mistakes, but that must not be the end goal. Mostly because if you get your finance, if you get the way you get it very well, your business will skyrocket. Because if you know, for example, taxes, how to use the taxes in benefit of your business. If you know where you can put more money so that you can attract more customer, like for example, just if once you get it, we don't have enough time. But
money is a long-term
if
game.
you know how to deal with that, you will grow. So work with professionals. It will first of all, it's going to take your time that you can put in trying to find out whatever. And a little bit peace of mind, because just dealing with money can destroy your focus, because you will see where things are not going well, and then
be discouraged. There's also when your finances also tell a story of your business, and sometimes it's very hard to listen to that story, but it's important because you might think you are doing well until you see your financial statements, or you sit down with your bookkeepers or your financial planners, and then they're like, actually, you didn't do so well this year, and there are a lot of indicators that you can look at. There are a lot of different strategies. There are a lot of formulas that you can use in order to dive into your business data and to see, to understand the ticking of your business, the deeper things. You might get a lot of clients, but you are not making profit and you don't understand why. And then your finances will tell you the story about that. So that's something that we'll get into another day. We are going to get together with one of our friends and bring up a financial expert for business. And I know that's going to be an amazing podcast, just talking about some of the key indicators to look at, why it's important, how you can use it, some tips and tricks for finances. But be aware that finances is definitely one of the big pillars in business. Businesses exist to make money. If your business does not make money, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. Yes.
And you have to know that you can have a lot of clients, but you're still not profitable.
That's the thing. Or you're just living from hand to mouth, and that's not a business. It's just, it's just like you get money, you charge the money, it's not going to grow. So
it's something to take serious and then just, learn more. Learn. And then you cannot say that you can come from school and then try to learn how to manage money. It's neat.
School doesn't teach you how to manage money.
So work with professionals.
Yeah. All right, so let's go into number 6 and number 7. We're going to be brief on these two. So number 6 is innovation. Innovation encapsulates the ideas of being able to pivot, being able to change, being able to diversify, being willing to do things different and to try new things. I know that, for example, F&B, the company I worked for many years, when the previous CEO that was, what was his name? Wow, I can't believe I forgot his name already. It will come back to me. Anyway, he was like really, really big on innovation, and he incentivized innovation. You know, he rewarded innovation. You got prizes for innovating in the company. And I believe that it was his drive for innovation that really set F&B apart from the other companies, because it helped F&B to pivot, to diversify, to become something more than just a bank. And that's what the vision is for them, is they want to be more than just a bank. They want to be like a part of your life, your everyday life. They want to be a life partner in a way. So innovation is extremely strong. It is something that it challenges you to think differently about the way you do things, about your circumstances, about your clients, about your products. Can we do things? Can we try something new that hasn't been tried? Can we explore a different way? Can we change our product or services? How can we differentiate ourselves from other businesses that do the same thing? And innovation is really that differentiating factor, because two businesses can sell this. Most of us, the business is business. We all do the same things, you know, in our categories, like consulting, and there's this and there's, you know, there's thousands of people in the same field as what we are. Mm. But it is innovation that makes your business stand out. If you don't innovate, your business will disappear in the ocean of other businesses that do the same thing. So innovation is really important, and important to think about that. How can we do things differently in our business? How can we take what is there and make it unique?
Yeah, innovation is it's something that will make you stay longer in the market. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, one thing that we understand with the market is that it's not something that is static. Mm. It's something that's change. Mm. It can go up and down, and then your innovation is going to enable you to stay in the changing market. Mm. And then because there's a lot of competitivity in the market. Mm. And then innovation is one thing that is going to set you apart. And then it's innovation that is going to make you to adapt. Because a business is something that you go in and you start to learn inside there. And the more you learn there, more you adapt, more you change. But you change with your vision of the future. Because business people are people who are living in the future. Mm. These entrepreneurs are dream sellers. Mm. So for example, the example you gave of F&B, everyone else they know just F&B, it's a bank. But more F&B is trying to innovate, changing things, introducing things, and going into things like buying other businesses or going to things. That is going to show people to understand what F&B is trying to achieve. Mm. So your innovative, I don't know if it's you can say it, innovative vision. Mm. It's the thing that is going to set you apart in the middle of like everyone. They will notice that there's Oxano 7 in the way Oxano said things. Mm. They will know that this is Oxano 7 in the way Oxano put things together. Like we put podcasting and marketing together. Mm. That's our way to innovate. That's our way to market the business, to get, and then it's not only for ourselves, but even for the people who are working with us, our client, our friends. So, and then it's not going to be like that. We're going to grow. More you see the vision, more you go, more you innovate. And then innovation must not just be something that comes with technology. The innovation just can be the way you move the things together, the way you put the dots together, the way you talk to your client. You know that everyone does it in this way, but you do it in the way that it's totally different, and your customer will notice that this is something that not everyone is doing it. One day you said one thing very important. You said you don't like to go where everyone is going. So if you are a person who doesn't like to go or to do the same thing that everyone, you will create your own path. That's your innovation. And then businesses that create a path, a way of doing, a business that stand in the market and then live longer.
I think also it's, before we go to the last point, and then we have like 2 minutes to close. Most people think that their branding is the thing that differentiates them, but it doesn't. Because your brand means nothing if people don't understand your business's story, where you come from, why you are different. Like a brand really doesn't matter until people know you. You know, like if you just go on Facebook or on LinkedIn and just look at logos of companies, like you say, oh, this is a nice logo, but it means nothing. You know, your logo, your brand that is not innovation. You know, like, oh, we've got such a nice brand. It's like nobody cares about your brand until they know that your company, why they should care about your company. Anyway, I just wanted to put that in there. But innovation is very important. We're definitely going to get a lot of talking about. We're going to do a lot of talking about that and get some fun people to talk about innovation and how we can spice up our companies and innovate. All right, the last point that we're going to talk about is human resources. Human resources are the most valuable resources in your company. The people is what makes your company tick. From the CEO to the person cleaning the office to the person, you know, whatever it is that is happening in that company, people, everything revolves around people. Without people, there is no company. And so human resources speaks about the management of people, not just how you lead them, but also how you acquire them. What kind of talent does your business attract? How can you attract the right kind of people to your business? How do you deal with people when they are not performing? How to measure performance? How to talk about business culture and how people to understand the culture, to how people to like all people development, people training, upskillment, upliftment, leadership, all those things fall under human resources. And this, for small companies, it seems like, you know, whatever, human resource, what do I need to know about this? It's just me, you know, or just me and the other person. But if you want your company to grow, then this is something that you need to learn about from the beginning.
Yeah.
So that when your company starts to grow, that you make sure you get the right people that can be the right fit for your business, and not only for your business, but also for your clients. Because sometimes somebody is really good in the company, but they can't work with clients, and that might be a reputational risk. And so you have to balance those two to make sure that you acquire the right talent, and how you can draw the right talent. How do you hire people? How do you know what to look for? What questions to ask? And those are all kinds of things that we're going to talk about when we go into human resources. And then in another episode, we're going to bring in one of our friends that is an HR expert and an HR influencer.
But also fun.
He's
me
very
guy.
funny.
Now
So-
I love him. But yeah, I can't wait to have him. No?
Yeah.
But what I can say is that Business is all about people. You cannot treat your client well if you treat your own people who are working for you well.
Mm-hmm.
And people will know that you don't treat your people well in the way they present themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, first, a positive workplace can attract good talent.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, a positive workplace can drive a business growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have people who are working, who are motivated, who love the business, who want that business to grow. Like people who can die for your business. Like, that's where you as a leader or an entrepreneur, you have to get to your people today. But all that depend in how you treat your people, how you deal with them, how you help them, how you manage the conflict inside the company, how you manage the competitivity among the employees or people who are in the things. So it's a very big pillar, especially when you come to the place where you have to manage like a lot of people. And when you manage a lot of people, you are managing a lot of vision, different vision, different perspective, different goals. So you get it good, your company will grow. You messed up with it, your company will go down. But that depend in the leadership.
Yeah.
The leadership is the one who is going to set to make that entity or that pillar to work well, because it's a leader who is going to give a vision to his manager, and the manager, they will continue the same time the things. And then a very good leader, like a very good company, it's not just a company that is there to make profit. But it's a company who will uplift the people who are working in that company, and together with those people to get to the goal. Because it's to make money, but you cannot make money if you don't have people who will work, who will do the work.
You can't make money alone. That's boring.
Yeah.
So you need to reward. You need to uplift your community and the people you. Somebody once said that one person that draws a salary feeds at least 5 mouths of people, and we know that we spoke about this in the recession podcast about how that money trickles down into the economical cycle, into the ecosystem of the economy. So human resources, we're going to talk about that in depth in another podcast. Let's just quickly close up and by going over the 7 pillars of business success, the 7 things that you can focus on to work in your own company to help you grow your company from 0 to 7 figures.
Or at least just you as an entrepreneur, a leader, or as a business, just to grow, at least to have an understanding of all the 7 pillars. You don't have to be an expert on all everything. But if you have an understanding of it, you can employ or you can bring in people that can take charge care of those pillars. But you have to understand it.
Yeah, definitely. So the 7 pillars, let's go over them again. Leadership, operations, sales and marketing, strategy, finances, innovation, and human resources. Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening today to this podcast. It was a bit of a long one, but we hope that you found some value in this and that you enjoyed our conversation. If you do have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave it for us in the comments section. And please remember to like and to subscribe to our channels so that you can help us to grow, so that we can continue to help you to grow. From my side, Gerold, thank you so much for listening and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.